Okay, hey guys. I just wanted to go through a few questions here. We're on 4.5, solving rational equations. So before we were dealing with simplifying. Now we're going to take it one step farther and actually solve for t. So figure out what t is or x is or whatever that we're looking for. Okay. So this question says salt water is flowing into a large tank that contains pure water. The concentration of salt in the tank, C, in grams per liter, at time t in minutes is given by the formula yada. Determine the time when the salt concentration in the tank reaches 3.75 grams per liter. Okay, so all we gotta do here is just replace C, the letter C here, with 3.75 grams per liter. And I'll take out the units right now just to make things a little bit more mathy, less physicsy. So I just put that number in place of C here. So then what we're going to do is we want to get stuff out of the denominator. That's kind of the first thing we want to look at. So this stuff on the bottom, so 25 plus t, what I'm really going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 25 plus t. So multiply that and multiply this side by 25 plus t. That was supposed to be 25. Okay, so then these would cancel, right? That one and that one. And I'm left with 25 plus t times 3.75. Just quickly though, I just want to show you a little trick. For these ones, really what you can do is if something's on the bottom of one side of the equation, you can just move it on up to the right side or to the other side of the equation, move it to the top. So things can always just move diagonally that way if you move the whole term with it. Yeah, so that's just a little trick. So same thing. I'm going to finish writing this over here maybe. So if I do that, then you've got 3.75 times 25 plus t is equal to 10t. Okay, and then all you gotta do is rainbow that first number, so 3.75 times 25, and then 3.75 times t. So we've got 3.75 times 25 is 93.75, and then plus 3.75t is equal to 10t. I hate questions with t because they look like plus signs, so just kind of bear with me there. I put a little like swoop on the bottom of it to make it so you know it's a t. All right, so now we're looking for t, right? So the next kind of goal that you should be looking for is to get the t's on the same side of the equation. Right now you've got one t on this side, one t on that side. They should both be on the same side. So what I'm going to do then is, it doesn't really matter. I can move this, so 3.75t over to the other side, or I can move 93 over to that side and then bring the 10 over there. I'm just going to move the 3.75t over to the right side though, because that's just one thing moving then. So I'm going to subtract 3.75t from this side, so that would, that was supposed to be a t. So that would make those equal to 0. And then I also have to subtract 3.75t from that side. So if I finish kind of writing what I have there, I've got 93.75 is equal to 10t minus 3.75t. So then if I just combine these, so combine like terms, go 10 minus 3.75, just write this out again, I've got 93.75 is equal to, that's 6.25 t. And then last step, I'm just going to divide both sides by 6.25. Or I could just bring this down to the bottom, like I said. If it's on the top of one side of the equation, you can just move diagonally down to the bottom side. Or divide by both sides, however you want to think about it. So divide both sides by 6.25, those cancel. And we end up with, so 93.75 divided by 6.25 is equal to 15. So 15 is equal to t. All right, and just remember that this is fine. It doesn't matter that t is on the right side of the equation. I know you're probably used to seeing it as t is equal to 15. Doesn't matter. Just try to get t on one side of the equation or the other. All right, moving on down to the next one. So solve x on each equation. Okay, so we've got x in the bottom of this side of the equation. First thing we're going to want to do is get x to the top of the numerator somehow. And actually, one thing that's going to make this easier is if we just kind of combine these terms right away. So I'm just going to rewrite this. This would look like 8 over 2 plus 3 over 2 is equal to 9 over 2x. So if I combine these, this ends up being 11 over 2 is equal to 9 over 2x. All right, so that'll be a little bit easier to deal with. Now, like I was saying, if something's on the bottom of this side of the equation, you can just move it up to the top. So there's 2x on the bottom. I can just move that on up to the top of this side of the equation. So this would be 2x, and then I'll even keep these a little bit separate to kind of show you. 11 over 2 is equal to 9 is what I'm left with. And then really now the 2 on the bottom, really what I do is multiply both sides by 2. So multiply this side by 2, multiply this side by 2. But the other thing I can do is just say, okay, it's on the bottom of this side of the equation. Let's move it on up to the top of that side of the equation. I'm just going to finish writing this over here. So this would end up being 2x times 11 is equal to 9 times 2. And then this 11, I can divide both sides by 11, or I can just move it down to that side of the equation. So this is 2x. Well, actually, while I'm doing that, I might as well move this 2 as well. So I'll move that 2 down too because it's up there. So the 11 and the 2 can both go down that way. So I end up with x is equal to 9 times 2 over 2 and 11. I might as well cancel these 2's right away. I could have done that earlier too. And then this is what I'm left with. X is equal to 9 over 11. You could also figure out what that is as a decimal if you wanted to by dividing them. All right. Okay, yeah, let's do, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and do that one. I'm gonna move down to the next one down here. Alright, so same thing. I don't like the x's being in the bottom, so I'm going to try to see if I can get everything up to the numerator, everything up to the top. So the easiest way to do this is take the bottom of each one, and they're going to just, like I said, cross up to the top. That one's going to go up there, and this one's going to go up there. So they just kind of crisscross and go to the other side. Really what you're doing is multiplying both sides by, each thing, but kind of you start to see the pattern in that can just go up really fast. Okay, so let's rewrite this. So we've got 3x. This is from the bottom here, right? I've moved it up to the top. So 3x plus 4. And keep the brackets because really we need those in brackets because we're going to multiply things now. So 3x plus 4 times 2x minus 3 is equal to, now this one goes to the top, right? So I'll write that. So 3x minus 4 in brackets, and then 2x plus 7. Okay, now what we gotta do is we got to foil each side. All right, so we've got, first thing will be 3x times 2x. So I'm just gonna start writing this out. So this will be 6x squared, and then 3x times negative 3, so minus 9x, and then 4 times 2, maybe I'll do that on the bottom. 4 times 2x is positive 8x, and then 4 times 3 is minus 12. Okay, and that's going to be equal to, now let's just FOIL this one, so 6x squared. And then 3x times 7 is 21. X. So there's that one. And then negative 4 and 2x is negative 8x. And then negative 4 and 7 is negative 28. All right, so now what we got to do, let's just write this again, but combine these two middle terms too. So combine those and combine those, and then we'll maybe get a better idea of what we're looking at. So I'm just going to write 6x squared, negative 9x, and that's going to be minus x minus 12 is equal to 6x squared, and then 21 minus 8 is 13. And then minus 28. Okay, now, oh, that should be a 6. Oh, that made it worse. Okay, now what we gotta do is just get everything over to the other side of the equation. So now all the x's up top, so we're good. But now we want to move everything over to the left side of the equation, let's say. So I'm just gonna take, so this is positive 6 now, so I'm gonna subtract 6x from each side. I'm going to subtract 13x from this side and add 28x. So everything's going to move to that side. So if I do that, I've got 6x squared. Well, that's going to be 6x over here. Maybe I'll just write everything so you can see it. I should do that to make sure that we know what we're doing. So let's go 6x squared. I'm just rewriting this one now. 6x squared minus x minus 12. Now I'm going to bring those other things over. So now we've got minus 6x squared because I had to subtract 6x from squared from each side. I'm going to subtract 13x. And I'm going to do add, because I'm doing the opposite of 28. So add, so plus 28. Now we just need to collect my like terms. So looking at my x squareds, I've got 6x squared, negative 6x squared. Well, those cancel. I got no more x squareds left. All right, so if I look at my x's, I've got negative x, and I've got minus 13. So what I'm left with is minus 14x. I'm just going to underline my numbers I got left. So I got negative 12 plus 28. That'd be the same thing as 28 minus 12, right? Same thing, which would be positive 16, so plus 16 is equal to 0, right? Because I moved everything that was over here over to that side, so I'm left with nothing on the right side anymore. All right, so now that I've kind of done that and collect all my like terms, now I've got x just 1. I don't have all these x squares and all that kind of stuff, so now I'm going to get rid of the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to get the 16 out of there. So this turns into, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. This turns into, still got negative 14x is equal to negative 16, because I subtracted 16 from both sides. And then ends up, oh, I can't write over there. That sucks. What I've got left is x is equal to negative 16 over, and what I'm going to do is divide both sides by negative 14. So divide that side by negative 14. And I divide that side by negative 14. So I'm left with negative 16 over negative 14. So what I'm left with is x is equal to 8 over 7. All right, there's a lot of little math in that, but all takes practice. Okay, and I'm starting to realize how long this video is taking, so I'll continue on in the next video there.